going on, guys? Today we're going to be putting a flagship bow, last year's flagship bow. This is my Lift 33 with all new tech, new sights, everything, versus the tried and true old school 2008 Diamond Justice. As you can see, there's no stabilizer on this one, so I'll throw that stabilizer from my Mathews onto this one when we shoot it. But a couple things that I want to get tuned up. I know my Mathews is, but I'm going to make sure that the Diamond is. First thing, we're going to grab a draw weight of each. This one should be around 70 pounds. Yeah, we have 69.5 pounds on that one. And then we'll grab a draw weight on this bed. This one's cranked up pretty high, so it shoots pretty quick. Yeah, we got 80.6 pounds in that. So arrows will be flying a little different, of course, but we're going to see if it's the bow or the shooter today. So let's run these bows through some paper today, give them a fair chance at competing, because this is a bow that is almost 20 years older. So we'll see. We're going to run it through paper here, see what happens. Not bad. Shoot that one more time. Not too shabby. So I'll take that pretty much any day with this old of a bow. That's pretty much a bullet hole. But we'll make sure, just for the heck of it, to see if my Lift is going to be also shooting a bullet hole. That's not bad there. I'll take that for now. So this one and this one were from the Diamond Justice. I don't know what happened to this one with my Lift, but I think I was torquing it weird. So that was my final one with the Lift. Now that we've done the paper tuning, I'm going to get a quick reading of how fast these arrows are going out of each bow. I do expect the Lift, of course, to move a lot faster, not only because it's 80 pounds, but it's just such a modernized bow compared to the 2008 Diamond Justice. It also has very aggressive cam systems, dual cams, of course, whereas the Diamond Justice only has a single cam with a roller. So the speeds are going to be interesting to see, but we'll see what the difference is in them. So let's get a nice reading here. Yeah, 267. As you can tell, this bow is loud and jumpy. Especially for a single cam. Yeah, 266. So we're reading around 266, 267. Those two numbers are so close that I'm not even going to shoot again. Normally I'd shoot 3 arrows, but I trust that. So we're going to shoot the Mathews Lift now. Yeah, 312. So that's a quick arrow out of any bow. I love this target. Nice. Nice. 311. So yeah, it's shooting pretty quick. I'll take that. Again, 2 readings is good enough for me. There goes my release. I'm just dropping everything today. Now we're going to move on to shooting the bows. I think we might move them out to 60, maybe even 70, just to give the Diamond a fair chance. It's going to fall off after 70 pretty quick, where the Lift can, go out to even 100. But it only being 69 pounds where the Lift is 80, it does have an unfair advantage. But they didn't really make that many 80-pound bows back in the day, so it does kind of give a good reference point as to what bows have become now. We're going to get a quick 20-yard zero in with the Diamond Justice just to make sure everything's good. Then we'll move out to 60 and see what the groups look like. All right, we're at 20 yards here. We're going to get this bow nice and dialed in for 20. That way we're good to start moving back to 60. I don't know if we can move all the way back immediately just because how slow this bow's shooting, but we'll see what we got at 20. Not too shabby. That's right. That was my fault though. I pulled that one. Pushed it actually. But we won't count that one. There we go. Not a bad little group down there, especially for a 2008 bow. So this group walking up on it is actually pretty nice. I mean, you can fit your hand around it. You can definitely fit your hand around it. Just a little low, right? But nothing too crazy, especially for a bow that's, I mean, almost 17 years old. So for a bow with that old of technology, you can't really complain or argue with that kind of group. I think we're ready to move back to 60 with that bow, but I'm going to make sure that my Mathews lift is shooting nice and good at 20, and then we'll move back to 60 with both of them, and that's where we'll really get a good comparison. So we'll see what happens. So I did not upgrade to the Lift X simply because I have a bow press and I can move my own top hats around. But it is nice to have the with the Lift X that you do have the micro adjustments for cam shift, but I've not had an issue with it with my bow, and it tunes out great, so it's not anything that I really need. See what we got here. Already tell it's a lot faster and a lot easier to hold on target. It's a lot heavier of bow. Especially I do have a 12-inch stabilizer at the front, which I said I was going to put on my other bow, but I didn't. That arrow blew through the target, I think. Yeah. So they're trending a little low. I might have to bump it up just slightly, but that kind of group is pretty good. I mean, that's way smaller than putting the hand around. There goes my knock. Might actually help. A quick little update. I actually ended up losing my knock in the target. I'm currently headed up back to workbench to find another one. So then we'll move back to 60 after that. As you can see, it's the next day. We got the same bows. We got the stabilizer on the 2008 Diamond Justice. Just make sure it's got a fair chance against the Mathews. Kind of keep the control the same. So we're gonna be shooting at 60 yards, of course, and see how this bow matches up against the Mathews. One thing's for sure is this bow's so light that it is hard to keep still, bouncing all over the target. I think that was a touch right. Not too bad. Let's go take a look at them. So actually walking up on these, we're looking for more of a how close the groups are, how close the three arrows are together, and I'm pretty impressed with that. I mean, I can fit my hand around that almost. So at 60 yards for a bow that old is not bad at all. But we're gonna see what the Mathews lift does and how it compares to it. So, okay, now we're back at 60 again with the Mathews lift. We swapped the bar back over. It's gonna be tough to beat that last group from the Diamond Justice, but we're going to see how the lift does and how the bows compare to each other. So let's shoot at 60 here. We'll shoot 3 arrows again. Walking up on these arrows now, they are pretty close to exactly what the Diamond Justice shot. The Mathews definitely shooting a tad bit to the right. See, I can barely not get a hand around those either. So honestly, they're pretty similar in the size of the group according to the Diamond Justice. So I think it would be different if you moved back to like 80 to even 100 yards, but you're not really going to be taking that shot really in any hunting scenario. Mathews definitely does feel better to shoot. Moving a lot quicker, so you're gonna have a lot less animals duck underneath your arrow. But other than that, I mean, the Diamond Justice from 2008 is tuned really well and it shoots really well too. So both bows shot really good groups, very similar groups at 60 yards. However, one bow is worth $3,000, the other one's worth right around $300. So for 10 times the price, it's not a 10 times better group. I'm gonna keep shooting my Mathews. I like the way it shoots. I like how fast the arrow is. I feel a lot more comfortable with it, especially past 60 yards. But you will never really be taking much shots past 40 in a whitetail hunting scenario. So, but I'll let you guys decide if it's worth buying the $3,000 bow or not. Thank you guys for watching this video. I'll see you next time.